A man clearing out his late aunt's basement was about to throw a box of tangled cords and plastic junk into the dumpster when a small beige lump caught his eye. It was an original 1990 Nintendo Game Boy, in its case with a copy of Tetris, and he almost binned it because the battery cover was missing. He listed it on a whim, and it sold for $185 within 6 hours. Now hold that against this. A rare variant of the Beatles' White Album once sold for $790,000, and a first edition Harry Potter for around $90,000. Same idea at both ends of the scale. The object was always valuable. The value was lost the moment it passed from someone who didn't know what they held to someone who did, and that gap is where almost all the money in the antiques world lives. Here's the thing about ordinary household antiques. The average home has roughly $2,000 of unused stuff in closets, and people walk past the valuable pieces every day because they don't look like antiques. They look like old junk, dated furniture, dusty books, a box of records, a shelf of mixing bowls. And across every category, the same law holds. Value comes from a specific maker, edition, or detail, and above all, original, undamaged condition, not from age or looks. To you, it's a house full of old stuff to clear out. To a collector, it's a maker, a model, an edition, a condition grade, details deciding whether you hold a $5 cast-off or a 5-figure find. The real question isn't whether your old things are worth money. It's why the valuable ones stay so cheap, and who benefits. Knowledge sits in very few hands, it's rarely volunteered, and a whole resale economy runs on it. So here are 10 common antique items people own without knowing it in 2026. One warning first, and it runs across every category, so learn it once. Do not clean, restore, or refinish it. Cleaning a coin strips the patina and can cut its value by half or more. Refinishing old furniture can halve it because collectors pay for the original surface. Opening a sealed toy drops it to a fraction of the sealed price. Polishing a bronze removes the aged finish that proves its age. Across antiques, originality is the value, and cleaning is how owners destroy it. The first is the mid-century modern furniture people think is dated brown junk. The sleek lines and tapered legs of 1945 to 1970 design are one of the hottest markets going, and authentic pieces by Eames, George Nelson, Hans Wegner, or the Herman Miller and Knoll factories command serious money. An Eames lounge chair and ottoman selling around $5,500. The tell is the maker's label or stamp, usually underneath or on the back, plus the design and original upholstery. Even unlabeled pieces from the era have real value, so before that teak sideboard goes to the curb, turn it over and look for the mark. The second is the first edition book, the one you might be using as a doorstop, where the whole fortune hides on the copyright page. A first printing of the right title is worth many times a later one, and the difference is invisible on the shelf, hidden in tiny markings inside. The tell is the number line on the copyright page, where a sequence including a 1 typically signals a first printing, plus the correct date and publisher, and an original dust jacket, which on modern firsts can carry most of the value. Many sellers wrongly label later printings as firsts, so the ones who read the number line clean up. A first edition Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone has reached around $90,000. Don't judge a book by its cover, judge it by the copyright page. If that surprised you, the next is the box of records in the loft. The third is vintage vinyl, where most of the crate belongs in the dollar bin, but the rare pressing is life-changing. Original first pressings, limited variants, and mint copies by iconic artists are what collectors chase, and rare Beatles, Pink Floyd, Prince, and Springsteen records have sold for thousands, with one White Album variant reaching $790,000. The tells are in the details, the matrix number etched in the run-out groove, the label design and pressing plant, the country of pressing, and the condition of both sleeve and vinyl. 2 copies of the same album can be worth $1 and a fortune depending on the pressing, Read the runout, not just the cover. The fourth is the toy that's worth more because you never played with it. Vintage toys have boomed on nostalgia, and the rule is brutal and specific. Original packaging and mint condition can multiply the value 5 to 10 times, so a sealed or carded toy is worth far more than a loved one. Pre-war tin and cast iron toys by makers like Marx, original Barbies, first-run Star Wars figures still on the card, and early Lego all have devoted markets, and even a tagged Beanie Baby once sold for $24,000. The tell is the maker, the year, and above all, whether it's still sealed or carded with its packaging and instructions. Opening the box is the single most expensive thing you can do to a collectible toy. The still sealed one is the treasure. The fifth lesson is the one that costs people the most across every category. Condition is the multiplier, and cleaning is the destroyer. Mint items routinely sell for 10 to 100 times the price of worn ones, and the instinct to tidy up a find is exactly what erases that premium. Cleaning a coin strips the patina and can cut value by 50 to 90%. Refinishing furniture halves it. Trimming a trading card is considered fraud and gets it rejected by graders. Amateur repairs on books and comics destroy value a professional conservator would have preserved. So the rule through the whole house is the same. Leave it as you found it, because the worn, dusty, honest original is worth far more than the shined-up version, and the person who cleaned it first almost always cleaned the money away. The sixth takes that danger to its most expensive extreme, and it's the item hiding in the kitchen or the garage that's worth more than the furniture, the everyday object collectors quietly obsess over. Vintage Pyrex is the perfect example. Those pastel mixing bowls from the 50s and 60s that look like ordinary kitchenware sell from $100 into the thousands for rare patterns. The rarest complete sets topping $22,000. Early Griswold cast iron pans, prized for their smooth surface and maker's marks, are hunted by cooks and collectors, and rare discontinued patterns across ordinary housewares carry premiums nobody expects. These get inherited, dismissed as old kitchen stuff, and let go in a bulk lot where a dealer offers one round number for everything in the cupboards. This is where the most people lose the most money, not because the item looked like junk, but because it was disguised inside a transaction designed to prevent itemization. Grief and exhaustion are the picker's best friends. So the rule, plainly: never sell in a bulk lot, never accept one price for all of it, check each piece, because the entire value of a house can sit in one bowl or one pan nobody looked up. The seventh is the sign on the garage wall and the pottery on the shelf, the advertising and art pottery that reads as decoration. Vintage advertising signs, porcelain enamel, neon or tin, from well-known brands and the early 20th century, are seriously collected. A rare Texaco porcelain sign selling for around $2,500 because they combine graphic design, brand nostalgia, and scarcity. And American art pottery, the hand-thrown glazed work of Rookwood, Roseville, and Weller, is a strong 2026 market, dismissed as old flower pots by anyone who doesn't read the base. The tells are the brand and condition on signs, and the impressed marks and glaze quality on the ceramics. We've covered furniture, books, vinyl, toys, kitchenware, and pottery, and the last three pull it together, starting with the small things people never think to check: coins, cameras, and the maker's mark. Most coins are worth face value, but error coins, rare dates, and historic strikes can be worth thousands, and the "don't clean it" rule is absolute here, since a polished coin loses most of its value. Vintage cameras, the mechanical rangefinders and classic film models are hunted by photographers and collectors. And across all of it, the single habit that changes everything is to turn the thing over and read the mark, the maker, the model, the edition, the date, because the identity is stamped, printed, or etched on nearly every valuable object. So when you research, don't look at active listings, the items for sale with hopeful asking prices, because anyone can ask any number. Look at sold listings, what things actually changed hands for, and match the maker, model, edition, and condition. Active listings tell you what sellers wish, sold listings tell you the truth. The ninth is the category that cooled and the reissue that fools people, the read it twice story, running through this whole market. Not everything old is up. Brown Victorian furniture and common depression glass have softened, so age alone guarantees nothing, and the market rewards specific makers and originality over mere oldness. And reproductions are everywhere, because popular designs, signs, and toys get reissued and faked constantly, so a familiar look can be a modern copy worth a fraction of the original. A genuine mid-century piece, an authentic first pressing, an original sign, is judged by the mark, the construction, the materials, and the wear, not the style alone, and the reproduction usually looks a little too clean, while the genuine old piece shows honest age. So read the piece, not the look, because the reproduction and the real thing look identical to the untrained eye. The 10th is the Grail, where every principle compounds and the ceiling disappears, the most extreme version of the central truth, that the value was lost the moment it passed from someone who knew to someone who didn't. At the very top sit the things that look like nothing in an ordinary house. A signed Eames or Wegner chair mistaken for dated furniture, a true first edition used as a doorstop, a rare vinyl pressing in a dusty crate, a sealed toy in the attic, a rare Pyrex pattern in the cupboard, a rookwood vase on the mantel, an error coin in a jar of change. These surface in ordinary homes because each looks, to a normal person, like old stuff to clear out. Every lesson converges here. The maker and model, the edition and pattern, the condition and originality, the packaging and mark, the warning never to clean or refinish, and the venue, because where you sell matters as much as what. A rare item sold to a house clearance buyer or a car boot sale is sold to whoever carries it off, while the person who will recognize and pay for it is a specialist dealer in that category or an auction house like Heritage or Christie's for the high-value pieces. So here's the checklist that flips you from the person being collected from to the person who knows. Don't clean it. Don't refinish it. Don't open the sealed box. Don't polish the coin. Leave every honest sign of age where it is. Turn everything over and read the mark, the label, the copyright page, the run-out groove, because the look is only the beginning and the mark is the truth. Check condition honestly and keep any original packaging. Never sell in a bulk lot. Research on sold listings, not active ones. And when you've found something real, take it to a specialist, not a passerby. If you recognized even one of these, hit the like button and comment below if you've got an old thing you can't identify, especially something you were about to throw out, and I'll take a look. Subscribe if you want the part of the market the resellers already know and won't share, because the truth under all 10 is simple. These things were never worthless. They were built to look like the ones people throw away, and the only thing standing between you and what they're really worth is knowing. That's not a coincidence either.